But to this now, residents of Inanda are trying to rebuild their lives after a tornado had twisted through the area, and government is now promising to help by arranging temporary shelter for the displaced. But residents say they've been asking to be relocated for years now. They say they know living on riverbanks is dangerous, but have absolutely no choice as there is no land. eNCA's Lethiwe Mdluli joins us with more. Lethiwe, once again, good morning to you, colleague. What can you tell us from where you stand?
Well, Tumelo, we had a chance to speak to a few residents in Inanda today regarding being relocated, if they are open to it, because unfortunately they did build their homes near a river, something that the government has been cautioning against, and they are saying that they are willing to be relocated as long as government provides them with proper homes. In speaking to the people that unfortunately fell victim to the tornado that you saw on Tuesday, and also the heavy rains that tore apart Inanda Township on Tuesday, they did say that it was quite scary for them to experience it, and right now they are in a rebuilding process. When we went there this morning, we saw them trying to rebuild and also asking government to assist in providing them with building material. Yesterday we actually went to Inanda with the Department of Human Settlements Minister Mamalogo Kupai, and also she was accompanied by the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Nomusa Dube, and also the Mayor of eThekwini, Mxolisi Kawunda. When we spoke to them about some of the interventions they have for the victims of the floods, they did say that right now they are still currently taking down names, and they will be providing some of those that were partially affected, which means they did experience the tornado, but their homes are still intact. They will be providing them with building material, and for those that lost everything, including their homes, they have been placed in shelters. We went to a shelter yesterday where we found 35 families in a Mawoti community home, and we have the latest numbers from the Department of Cooperative Governance as well, Tumelo. They are saying that over 70 families were affected by the floods, and 500 people have been left displaced, and these people will be provided for when it comes to shelter and also food. And the Department of Human Settlements is also asking people to not go to community halls if they were not affected. Only those that were affected will be assisted. But right now we're actually at the ICC. We had a chance to speak to the Minister for Environmental Affairs, because you can just imagine the environment here in KwaZulu-Natal, especially in Durban, has been affected. She was here also after the floods last year, where she was conducting inspections across those affected areas. In speaking to the Minister, she is saying that they are cautioning people from building near rivers, because this is extremely dangerous, especially because we've seen some extreme weather changes taking place in the country recently. So she is saying that the environment has been impacted, but when we spoke to her about how exactly it has been impacted and what these people can do to then relocate to safer areas, this is what she had to say.
Look, climate change and the extreme weather events that come with it it's a global phenomenon. We know that the east coast of South Africa is going to be more prone to extreme storms, storm surges, sea level rise, and all of these are going to have very devastating consequences, not only for our infrastructure. I mean, we know that the port of eThekwini has not recovered from the flooding in April last year, but of course on human settlements and human lives. And I think the great injustice of climate change is that those who live under conditions of poverty and hardship are going to be hardest hit because they have the least resilience. Having said that, I think it's always important to point out that the University of KwaZulu-Natal and the city of eThekwini have this amazing fuse early warning system, and that was responsible last year for saving hundreds of lives. And it's those kinds of early warning mechanisms, as well as building more climate resilient infrastructure, that we're going to have to put in place, so that we can't stop the extreme weather events, but we do have to make communities safer and more resilient.
Well, Well, of course, we can definitely hear from the minister there, Lethiwe, speaking about climate change and also, pandemics, or rather not pandemics at this time, but just natural disasters impacting quite negatively on the environment. So I suppose before I let you go, colleague, what's then the commitment in terms of housing and human settlements? You're right. Mamoloko Kubai, the Minister of Human Settlements, was there just in terms of speaking about what the next steps are from government. But the residents say they have been calling to be relocated years ago, years before they saw, of course, the tornado heading through their area.
Well, Dumela, this is a very serious issue because in speaking to the residents yesterday and also today, they are saying that they've been speaking about being relocated or asking to be relocated for years, but unfortunately government failed to do so. And when we do engage with the Lethiwe municipality regarding this issue, they always go back to the fact that there's no land to build. I mean, even last year during those floods, you'd remember that a lot of people had to be relocated and they had to build homes for them. But unfortunately, we saw the municipality struggling with finding land. This has been an issue for a very long time. And the mayor and also the minister did say that for now, they're going to try and find these people that have been left displaced, find them temporary housing units. They'll take down their names. And those that were mostly affected, who lost their homes, they will then go in the list where they will then find, or they will be given permanent structures. But right now we do know that even the flood victims from last year still don't have, or they haven't been moved to permanent housing. They're still living in temporary housing units, and also they've been placed across the city in apartments. So those people still haven't been moved, and now we are seeing this latest disaster. Unfortunately, the department's saying that sometimes they do see people coming to them and asking for homes, but they haven't been affected. And the minister did make a call yesterday saying that those that have not been affected, they're just asking them to not put down their names because they need to assist those that were impacted by this disaster. But of course, I mean, the land issue is still ongoing, and residents have been saying that for years they've been asking to be relocated because there is no place to build. So they are forced to build near rivers, which is something that is very dangerous.
Yeah, we'll leave it there, colleague, and hopefully a resolution in sight will come. But as you mentioned before, if the residents that were hard hit by the flooding, just last year still haven't been placed, what will happen? What are the timelines then looking like? I suppose for us to monitor and give that feedback to our viewers. Lethiwe, thank you so much for this update. Colleague Lethiwe Mdluli out in KwaZulu-Natal, out for us. This is after Nomusa Dube, the Premier of the province in KwaZulu-Natal, Kolisi Kaunda, the Mayor of eThekwini, as well as Minister Mamoloko Kubai of Human Settlements, had visited the Inanda area, as well as engaged with the media alongside the affected residents on a way forward.